Hi everybody, I am Mags Livingston and I am joined today talking to the fabulous Dr. David Hamilton, PhD. I'm giving you your full title today. You're getting your Sunday name.
My Sunday name.
Your Sunday name. So for those of you who maybe don't know David, David has written 10 books, including How Your Mind Can Heal Your Body, I Heart Me, after my wee sign, My Heart Me, and The 5 Side Effects of Kindness, to name a few. The other thing you may have seen David in is in the Netflix documentary Heal, which, if you're watching Netflix in lockdown just now and you haven't watched it, please go on and watch it. It's fantastic, David, isn't it? I mean, obviously you were a contributor on it, but what a film. Absolutely amazing. But not only is he an international author and on a Netflix documentary, he's also a client at Lumia. So I hope you don't mind me saying, David, that you come to Lumia to get your hair cut. So first most important question, how are you getting on with your hair? Because I have to say it's looking pretty good.
I will see. I've got lots of the wax stuff that Adrian recommended.
Good.
And so I've got it flattened. If I didn't flatten it right down, it would be about that size at the side.
I know.
And I've also got it flattened at the top. So it looks at the moment probably testimony to the quality of that product.
Well, Adrian is missing you, and she said to say hello, and she will be desperate to get all her clients, as we all are, absolutely desperate to get back to some kind of normality.
Yeah, me too.
So thanks again, David, for talking to me today. And can I just start off by asking you, obviously I introduced you as Dr. David Hamilton, PhD. So how does somebody with a PhD in chemistry get from there to writing books on self-esteem and self-love and kindness? How did all that come about?
Do you know, even when I was doing my PhD, it's funny how sometimes you're doing one thing, but you know in your heart, a bigger part of you feels you need to go in a different direction. Yeah. And even in the middle of my PhD, I knew I wanted to teach. And I knew it needed to be something about the way the mind works and harnessing how you think. Yeah. And to do it. And I didn't really know at the time how that could possibly be. I mean, here I was in the middle of a PhD in chemistry, learning incidentally how to stick atoms together like Lego blocks to make molecules. I mean, people like me in the pharmaceutical industry, that's what I used to do, is stick atoms together like Lego blocks and assemble big shapes. And the shapes are the drugs that you take anyone takes when they get prescribed a medicine. And so I didn't know that there was another possible path open to me. So I just kind of took that feeling that I had that I wanted to teach, and it had to be something about the mind. And I kind of parked it to the side and I went down the role. But a few years into the job, I started seeing time and time again evidence for the placebo effect. Yeah. You know, I work mostly in cardiovascular medicine, but also in cancer, but predominantly cardiovascular, and starting to see clinical trial data coming back, showing us that, 100 people got the drug and 75 people improved, but 100 people got the placebo, the sugar tablet, the fake drug, and 50 of them improved because they thought they were getting the drug. And so I thought that was amazing, because here was now reminding me that my real interest was in how the mind works. And here you had evidence that the mind was exerting an effect. So in my spare time, while I worked for a company called AstraZeneca, which is the one that's actually doing all these clinical trials for coronavirus at the moment, for the vaccine. And so I started in my spare time to research, how does believing something have an impact on the body, and starting to learn that believing something or even imagining something actually fiddles around with your brain chemistry. It literally makes some biology go that way and some go that way according to what you believe. And I thought that was amazing. Here I had solid evidence for how your mind really can affect your brain and your body. And I started to gather up information, do a lot of reading, and then that little driver I had during my PhD that I wanted to teach, and it had to be something and write and educate about the mind, that I'd kind of parked to the side. Now I was having real data and evidence, it came bubbling up inside of me, and it became so much stronger than my joy at doing the job that I was in. So after 4 years, I just decided spontaneously one day, while I was actually attending a personal development seminar with Tony Robbins, a big giant American motivational speaker. And I just got so pumped up, and I said, that's it. And I went into work the next day, and I resigned and decided to start writing books and educating about the mind and emotions and all that, and how it affects the health.
Fabulous. And I've watched you, I mean, for anybody watching, if you gone to YouTube and just type in Dr. David's name, there's loads and loads of stuff of you at, obviously, at conferences and seminars and all different talks, and it's fascinating stuff. I mean, I just absolutely love all this stuff. I just think it's fascinating. So obviously there is millions that we could be talking about, but we were having a chat before we come on, and I was wondering, David, if we could talk a wee bit more about kindness.
Yeah.
And what I was saying to you before was, I feel as if, like, just now in lockdown, it's just such strange times for everybody. And I think, you know, we're probably spending more intense time with some people than we normally would. Also, we're spending less time with people that we love and that we're missing. And I just wondered if you would talk to us a bit about the kind of effects of kindness and your kind of sciencey way that you do, and also how maybe we can think about it, how we can think about it a bit more, especially at this time.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the most important and I think fascinating aspects of, I guess, how kindness impacts you is it is physiologically the exact opposite of stress.
Right.
Now, if I say to people, what's the opposite of stress? Almost everyone. In fact, I did a live Zoom to a big charitable organisation last week, about 1,500 people on the call, and I put that as a poll question, and 95% of people gave the answer that the opposite of stress is peace and calm.
That's exactly what I would say.
Yeah, but in actual fact, that's not the opposite of stress. That's the absence of stress. Yeah. The opposite of stress, in terms of the opposite action in the brain and the body, is kindness. It's the feelings induced by kindness. You think about what stress is. Stress is a feeling in response to a situation. So let's say you and another person are in the same situation. Let's say you're trying to attend a Zoom meeting and the two of you sit beside each other and you're feeling really stressed because the internet connection isn't working, or the technology's down, or the link isn't working, you can't get the WhatsApp link off onto your laptop, and you're feeling stressed. Now, because you feel stressed, and I quote feel to emphasize the feeling, that feeling triggers the production of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol in your brain and also throughout your body. But let's say your friend beside you is like saying, "Hi, take a chill pill." There's nothing you can do. You can't suddenly just magic the internet connection. If you miss it, it'll be recorded. You'll catch up later. Don't worry about it. So your partner or your friend beside you is not feeling stressed at all. If you look at her brain and body, you'll find hardly any stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. So the amount of stress hormones in the body, i.e. the physiological response to how you feel, is really got nothing to do with the situation and everything to do with how you feel about the situation. So stress is the physical effects of how you feel. Now, when you be kind, that feels completely different. It's actually called elevation. Being kind, whether you be kind or receive kindness or even witness kindness, is called, you feel elevated, positively elevated in comparison with how you were before. Now, that's a different feeling. Now, it also has physiological effects. And instead of producing stress hormones, you actually produce, believe it or not, kindness hormones. And they really are called kindness hormones. They're called kindness hormones because I defined them as that way in one of my books. And apparently once something has been officially defined in a book, that's forever its name, unless someone defines it differently. So at the moment, they're actually called kindness hormones. And it's really just the physiological effects, or the physiological hormone, the hormones that are produced because of how you feel, that elevated state that you feel when you be kind or receive kindness, or even watch it being, like, even on a social media post or on a film, or witness it live, someone being kind, all of that. So, but the effects of that are the exact opposite of stress. So in the brain, for example, overload of stress hormones can lead to stress, and it can cause impact on certain regions of the brain. When you be kind, because of how it feels, it has the opposite effect. It impacts, it completely turns down these stress areas of the brain. Now, stress increases blood pressure. Being kind, because of how it feels, decreases blood pressure. The kindness hormone actually, literally, it causes an expansion in the arteries and the blood vessels, and that the heart eases off its pressure, and the heart eases off its blood pressure, and what you get is a reduction in blood pressure. So physiologically speaking, in fact, here's a good one. Kindness, because of how it feels, even slows aging. Scientists,
there we go.
it's one of the I call them the 5 side effects of kindness. And that one of the side effects of kindness is that it slows aging. And one of the most powerful ways, aging of the skin is in significant part caused or accelerated by things called free radicals. Yeah. Or the chemical name for it is oxidative stress. It's why you take antioxidants. Yeah. Because an antioxidant is just anti-oxidation, or oxidation. If you leave an apple on the table for a week, the apple will wrinkle. That's free radicals or oxidation, oxidative stress. It's all the same thing. Our skin ages in exactly the same way, fortunately not quite as fast as an apple does, but the phenomena is the same, oxidation or free radicals. So when we take antioxidants, they're just anti-oxidation. They soak them up. So a lot of face creams have antioxidants because it's like taking a wee vacuum cleaner and sucking up all the free radicals. Now, scientists were studying this phenomena in skin cells, and they put them under stress in the lab, meant to simulate these stresses that we go under consistently in our lives. And what they found is high levels of free radicals, i.e. oxidation. But then they did the experiment again. This time, though, they introduced into the mixture of cells the kindness hormone. Amazingly, the levels of free radicals dropped through the floor. The levels of oxidation massively dropped, massively. In other words, the kindness hormone was acting like a powerful antioxidant specifically inside the skin cells and dramatically slowing down the rate of aging of the skin cells, which is what actually leads to wrinkles forming on our skin. Yeah.
And this is people acting kind or receiving kind or both?
It doesn't matter. It's consistently immersing yourself in that elevated state that kindness produces. So whether you're the giver of kindness, the receiver of consistent kindness, or witnessing it consistently, the key is consistent experience of that feeling that kindness. So the easiest way to get it is to be kind consistently in how you think about people and how you speak to people, even in how you speak to people about people, how you think about, how you demonstrate kindness, but also replace some of the negative news items with positive news stories, inspirational acts of kindness. I watch animal rescue every day, animal rescues every day. I watch movies that move me, that show demonstrations of moral fibre. Consistently. And what you're doing is you're increasing the levels of the kindness hormone in your skin, because you can't get the kindness hormone into your skin any other way. You can't eat it, you can't drink it, you can't put it in a foodstuff. The only way to get it into your skin is to make it in the body. And there's other ways you can do it. Physical contact produces it, so does sex, and ways that make you feel connected. But one of the most powerful ways of producing it is simply in what the things that you think about and the things that you do when those things that you think about and do are kind. Because the feeling triggers the production, just like feeling stress produces stress hormones. But what's amazing is how it dramatically impacts the skin and the whole aging process.
Oh, so that's a whole new direction for Lumia now. Whole new direction.
It's amazing though, isn't it?
It's fascinating. And so do you reckon then, when you're talking about this kindness, we don't have to all be going out doing save the world stuff. No. Small acts of kindness can produce that hormone.
You're absolutely right, Mags. In fact, it's these small acts of kindness that matter most, because those are the ones you do most frequently.
That's true.
And it is the consistency, the frequency of acts of kindness that matter most. Because if you do one big act of kindness, you might feel elevated for a short period of time. But if you do 5 or 6 small things, then you'll get periodic, frequent experience of that. Think of if you go to the gym, if you go to the gym once a week versus for like an hour versus you go to the gym 5 times a week for 15 minutes, what do you get most benefit out of? Yeah. The 5 times a week for 15 minutes. Because of how that impacts the brain and biological systems. Small amounts consistently are far better for you than one large thing done, you know, every now and then. So it's the large number of small things that we do. I've been doing this for 97 years.
You and me both.
I just dye my hair grey to make myself look my age, you know.
I was just thinking about the girls at Lumia. You know, when they do a facial, we have like a skin prescription pad that they fill out recommended products. And obviously a lot of it is anti-aging. So it'll be interesting now on the prescription. I think I'm just going to change them and just say you have to add kindness in. If you want to stay looking youthful, add kindness in. Oh, that's so fascinating. Honestly, David, I could talk to you all day about this stuff. I absolutely love it. I'm going to let you go, and I just want to say thank you so much again. And anybody that's watching, if you want to see a bit more of Dr. David talking about this kind of stuff, go on to a podcast I've just listened to called Calmer You. What's her second name again, David?
It's Chloe Brotheridge.
Chloe Brotheridge. So if anybody's listening to podcasts just now, honestly, go on and have a listen. She's got some great guests. David obviously was on at the start of lockdown as well. Really, really interesting stuff. And the other good thing about it is if you like Sweaty Betty, she gives you a code to get 20% discount off Sweaty Betty. So if you're buying yourself any leisure gear like we're all wearing just now, that's an added bonus. But please go on and listen to some more of David's stuff, and I'm sure you'll just absolutely love it. So thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you at Lumia. Hopefully looking younger, because I'll be so kind.
Hopefully soon as well.
And I'll see you soon.
See you soon, and have a nice day.
Thank you so much again. Thank you.